I'm not encouraging you to use recreational drugs before viewing this movie, but gonna be honest, it's not a bad idea. Oz the Great and Powerful tells the story of a con man, played by James Franco, that magically gets transported to the land of Oz and reluctantly fills in the role of the Great and Powerful Wizard. In the process, he meets three sisters, played by Michelle Williams, Mila Kunis, and Rachel Weisz, and ends up having to deal with all their baggage while traveling across the heavily CG'd land of Oz and trying to bring an end to everyone's troubles. This story is brought to you by Sam Raimi, Disney, and the producers of Alice in Wonderland, and it's a bit of a mess. There's some things to like in this movie, but there's just as much not to. I know the pot jokes are getting kind of old with James Franco, but there's a scene where Michelle Williams is just talking to him, and this is his reaction. And the dude looks as high as you can get, and I'm watching the scene and I'm just like, are you serious? Other than that, I thought he was fine in his role. The story itself is in fact very simple. There's the obvious symbolism between the people back in Kansas and the people he meets in Oz. The characters seem to be very gullible and change their motivations quite easily from the blink of an eye. It's like a character just goes, hey, you be evil now. It's like, okay. And they just do it. I kind of didn't really like how the movie would just stop to just show off its visuals. Like in one scene, it kind of the movie just completely just stops to have a scene with a fairy, and then the fairy just never gets mentioned again. We need to talk about the Wicked Witch. In the trailers, it looked cool when they kept teasing her by just showing a flash or a shadow or something, but no, there's a reason why they never showed her. One, that was a huge miscast, and I kind of felt bad for the actress because she was giving it her all by going way over the top, and it just really wasn't working. And two, the makeup, CG cover, whatever they did, it just did not work. With that said, I'm not trying to be a bully that's picking on the movie, because for everything about it that there is to criticize, it does bring you back with a few cutesy moments, and they'll have something tug at your heartstrings. And to be honest, some of those moments, as transparent as they were, did in fact get to me. But mainly when the movie was kind of going downhill, they would always bring it back up by doing something funny with Zach Braff's character, the monkey, which he was pretty funny. I liked him. Comedy is probably the best thing this movie has going for it, but at the same time, it's also one of the flaws because they went a little too far with some of the innuendo. Kids' movies usually have those wink, nod scenes for adults, but in here it's kind of just no, please enjoy these long, drawn-out scenes in which we heavily imply that the man-whore, that is James Franco, is getting laid. It's the movie was rated PG for sequences of action and scary images and brief, mild language. The fact that there isn't one mention of any of this film's innuendo in that rating has me convinced that no one in the MPAA saw this movie before rating it. But at the end of the day, this movie is a mixed bag. Some of you are going to come out loving it, others are going to come out saying it was just okay, and others are just going to flat out hate it. But for my money's worth, even if I did kind of see it for free, I'll say Oz the Great and Powerful just ends up being Oz the just okay and surprisingly perverted. That's that.